great yellow sun is reflecting in your deep blue eyes. The day has begun. You spin around, you laugh to yourself, and I see you shine in every color, resting your head in my arms. You sing la 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 la. My God, I think I might be in love. Get rid of all your sorrows in the summer city. You'll never feel alone as long as you're with me. Get rid of all your sorrows in the summer city. There's no place on earth I would.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Courtney and this is Creative on the Cheap, where I like to do budget-friendly DIYs and home decor. Today I have got some budget-friendly and super easy outdoor DIYs that you can do to add a little oomph to your outdoor living space. So let's get started. For the first DIY, I will be using some scrap wood from my garage along with a scrap piece of beadboard. Taking some of this folk art brown wax, I'm going to go ahead and cover these boards with the wax. Now the reason I chose wax over stain is because it is a wax, so it kind of has a little bit of extra protection built in. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to go back and seal these because I want them to kind of get a really nice weathered look since it will be hanging outside. So the wax kind of gives it a little bit of protection, but not as much protection as putting a poly or some type of sealer on it. I'm just going to go in and do one coat on the front of the boards, the sides, and the ends. I'm not going to worry about the underneath side because that will be attached to my beadboard. So I'm going to go ahead and do this and then let it dry. Here is the piece of beadboard that I will be using. Now, I'm going to take my boards, now that they are all nice and stained, and I'm going to lay them out and kind of get them where I want them to go. To attach these, I'm going to do two things. Number one, I'm going to put wood glue on it for that strong hold that I need. I'm also going to use some wood hot glue. This is by Surebonder, and that's just going to kind of give me that instant grab so that it will hold on right away, and then that wood glue will have time to set up and everything. I don't have to use clamps to kind of hold the boards in place. I am going to end up putting some of my bazillion million Mod Podge bottles down on it just to add a little weight because there was a little bit of a warp on the beadboard on that side. So I am going to go ahead and put some weight there just to make sure it's nice and stuck. But the rest of it, I'm not worried about at all. Now, while my frame is setting up, I grabbed this little yard flag from Dollar Tree. They actually have a bunch of different ones out. And the first thing I'm doing is it has this white little rope kind of going through it. And I didn't really like this very much. So I'm going to take that off. Then once that's done, I'm going to use twine and feed that through. There's like a little straw in there, plastic round straw looking thing that you can feed the rope through. And so I'll feed it through there. And then I decided I wanted to add a little something extra. So I'm going to take some Dollar Tree beads and grab out some of the yellow and kind of the lime greenish color and put a couple of those on the rope just to add it a little something extra.
Laughing all day. We spin around, your hand reaches mine. Feels like I can do anything. Just give me a mountain to climb.
The twine and beads are fed through it. Now, this thing was super wrinkly, as you can tell. It was kind of folded up on itself. Normally, I would use my wrinkle spray because I've shared that on my channel before that I'm just not a fan of ironing. But for this, I went ahead and ironed it. Now, I wasn't quite sure because it's from Dollar Tree. You just never know how an iron directly on this would react. So that's why I took a towel and kind of did it and noticed it wasn't really helping. So then I was like, you know what? It's $1. I'm going to go for it. So I went ahead and did it kind of on a medium heat iron and it worked out fine. It started to get the creases out. I just kind of kept it moving to make sure it didn't sit in one place. Got it all ironed out so that it looks way better. And then I'm ready to work on adding my hook to my frame.
My God, I think I might be in love. Get rid of all your sorrow.
two things we need to do to get this thing ready is, the first thing is to just go ahead and put some type of hanger on the back, whether you use a sawtooth or you use whatever kind of hanging apparatus mechanism you want to use in the back. Super easy to do, just screw it in the back. And then I'm going to take this hook that I had in my stash, which makes this project essentially free. I mean, yes, at some point I did buy these materials, but these were just all scraps that I pulled together. So this project cost me nothing. I had to pay nothing to get it all done. So I'm going to take some screws and just screw this directly into the beadboard, making sure that my screws are not going to poke out the other end. I had to find some pretty short screws. And then this thing is finished, ready to go up on my patio. Now, the beauty of this thing is that you can use it for multiple things. You can use it to hang banners, wreaths. You can hang, if you have a pool, it could be a pool towel hanger. I mean, you could use it for all kinds of things. And I absolutely loved how it turned out. And I think it looks great on my patio. For the second DIY, I'm making a little side table. You need two supplies for this DIY as well. Some type of crate and some type of little feet to put on the bottom of it. Now this crate actually came from Home Goods. It was damaged. It actually had the piece inside the crate. I took it up to the front. I said, hey, I really want to buy this, but it's broken. And they took $3 off, which put this at being $8 instead of $9.99 for the crate from Michael's, which the crate from Michael's was also a little bit smaller, and I would have had to sand it and stain it. So keep an eye on Home Goods if you're looking for a crate. But again, you can find them at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, wherever. Once I get this fixed, all I'm doing is sticking some wood glue on here. And then I had 4 little wooden legs left over from a dresser. We took them off the bottom, and I knew that I didn't want these legs just to be straight up and down on the base. I kind of wanted them to tilt out just a little. So because these were round, all I had to do was take it out to my miter saw, cut it real quick, and it kind of put a natural slant on it already, which was perfect. To attach these to the bottom, all I'm going to use is some wood glue, and then I'm going to weight it down. You could put in a screw in your feet if you want to. Now, if you don't have these, you can find little wooden knobs at the home hardware store. There's all kinds of options that you could use for feet. You can find feet there. You can order them on Amazon. Several different options that you can do. And that's it. Once it was weighted down, this little crate was finished, and it's perfect. Now, I probably will go back and seal it just because the wood is kind of rough, and I feel like it could absorb kind of some of the weather elements. So I probably will go back and put a coat of poly on it. But for now, I think it's just perfect. This DIY is going to be a no sew, no hot glue, no iron needed, removable pillowcase. That's a lot to say. I did do a tutorial on this back at Christmas time, but I'm going to show you again and show you what items you need to make this happen. So this is just a little towel that I picked up from Dollar Tree. This will be my removable pillowcase. Then to make my pillow waterproof, I'm just taking a large Ziploc bag from Dollar Tree, and I'm putting my stuffing inside of that. You could use a shower curtain if you wanted to. I've seen some people do that before. I'm just using the Ziploc bag because I felt like it was easier. Once I get my stuffing in the bag and the pillow's ready to go, I'm ready to start working on my pillowcase. To get started on the pillowcase, I'm going to cut off this little tag because I don't want that visible. Then I'm going to go ahead and fold this towel in half with the designs touching each other, so you kind of want it where it's inside out. Now there are 2 items that you're going to need to go ahead and complete this pillowcase. One is this no sew Velcro. I purchased it at Walmart. I will try to link these 2 products down below. And it's sticky back for fabrics. Again, it has a permanent bond. It's very, very sticky. You do not have to sew it. You do not have to glue it, nothing. The other one, this is by Heat Bond. It is a hem tape that is sticky on both sides. No iron needed. It's just a very sticky, sticky sticker. Now, all you're going to do for this is you're going to go up the sides with the Heat Bond sticky hem tape, and you're just going to stick it down, just like you would if you were going to sew up the hem or if you were going to hot glue the hem. You put your tape there. So you start by putting the piece of tape down, then peel off the backing, and then you just press the two pieces of fabric together, and I'm telling you, it is super sticky. Then do this on the other side. And then for the bottom, I did a little bit of the area, but I wanted to leave a hole. Now the hole needs to be whatever size it needs to be able to get your pillow in and out of it. And then that hole is where you will put the Velcro. Also quickly wanted to mention that this is a collab with some awesome YouTube ladies. This is hosted by Jennifer from Little Bit of Common Crazy. So make sure when you're done watching this video that you go check out all those other awesome ladies and see what they do for their outdoor spaces.
When the sun begins to shine again, taking all the advice there is and none of it has helped. Experience has made me realize that
I very easily pressed all the hems down, and now I'm going to go ahead and turn it right side out, and now I'm going to attach the Velcro. Now I choose it to do this way. You can, if you want, go ahead while it's turned inside out like this, put your Velcro in there, but the last time I did that, it kind of, I don't know, it made it look a little awkward on the bottom. So what I do is turn it right side out. And then when you kind of pull it at the bottom, because you have a hem there, the fabric kind of naturally folds in at the hole, and you'll kind of see right there where I was cutting, that kind of folds in naturally, and that's where I'm going to stick the Velcro. Now right there, I was just trimming the corners of the inside of the pillowcase so that the pillowcase sits right. But yeah, that's how I put the Velcro on. Two ways you could do it, but as you can see right there, see how it's kind of folded in, and there's a little lip for you to add the Velcro.
build my life on empty words. Being so damn naive, it only hurts. I'm so tired of love songs like never turns out the way they do.
This DIY is going to be a little tray with some other little accessories, all of these supplies coming from Dollar Tree. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tape off this tray so that I can paint stripes. I'm going to end up using the Olympic Blue Arteza paint along with the Marshmallow White Arteza paint. I mean, come on, who wouldn't want to use paint with those fun paint color names? Now, the beauty of this Arteza paint, and I've talked about it before, is this outdoor paint, and you can use it indoors as well. It has a self-sealer built into it. So once I paint this, I will let it sit for 72 hours, and it's cured. It's got the sealer in it. I don't have to add anything extra, and since this is going outside, that is perfect. So it takes me 3 coats of each of these colors of paint to get the tray entirely covered, and then once it's done, I'm going to let the tray dry so that I can start working on the accessories.
I've been trying for so long, looking for someone who wants me to. I've heard every cliche there is, and none of them make sense. I'm so tired of love songs. I'm sick and tired of love songs. I'm so tired of you. Looking back on how I used to.
Now this first little accessory is this little birdhouse that I picked up from Dollar Tree. If you follow me on Instagram, you've gotten a sneak peek of this, but as you can tell, these are not my hands, those are my daughter's hands. I was just going to paint it yellow do a little white picket fence, and she really wanted to paint it, so she filmed a time lapse, and I'm going to let you guys watch her do her magic to create this cute little birdhouse.
Walk me in the morning sun. Tell me I'm a lucky one. I'm riding on the wave of a notion that I could be brave. Is there anything good on the radio? Turn it up loud and let me know how it used to be before anyone heard of you and me. I'm feeling
make it to a better day. A rocking chair and a glass of wine, in the shade of a tree, and I'm feeling fine. There's not a lot to ask when life is going by so fast. One breath away, step up and say, hold on to what is real. The love you feel is like water in a glass. Don't try to separate the ones you hate from the ones that you don't.
And there you go. There's her cute little birdhouse. She did a much better job. Mine would have been way more boring. So I wanted to put this on a little stand. So I have a little wood slice here. That's from Arteza. And then one of these wood blocks back when Dollar Tree had those last year. I'm just going to use, again, some wood hot glue and just glue these together. Glue the birdhouse on top. And then the birdhouse is finished.
'Cause there's a part of you that never could let go.
For the other accessory on my tray, I'm taking one of these little flower pots from Dollar Tree, and yep, I'm going to unbraid some of the nautical rope and use one piece of it. I'm going to wrap the brown rope. I'm going to use some construction grade hot glue. I am using that because this is going outside, and I know that in Texas at least that it gets so hot here that sometimes the hot glue gets softened and stuff will fall off. So I'm using Surebonder's construction grade, and I don't really have issues with that when I use that particular glue versus just the regular hot glue. So like I said, I'm just going to wrap this brown around the bottom, and then the rim of this, I'm going to take some of the white nautical rope, and you guessed it, unbraid it, and use one strand of that and wrap that around the top part of the plant, and then I'll be ready to fill it.
I'm chasing shadows around the place. It shouldn't take long now in any case, as long as there is light, pretending I could stay the night.
Now I'm ready to fill my plant. Now I'm going to take some foam and I'm going to stick this in here, and you're probably thinking, why are you not going to put a real plant in here? Well, nobody wants to see what I do to plants. I am a plant serial killer. I cannot keep them alive to save my life. So I'm going to use some of this greenery. I've shared this hack before. When Hobby Lobby has their garland greenery half off, so $9.99, I purchased the garland, and I'm telling you, this greenery lasts forever. This one garland I bought last year back in, I think it was August. I'm still using it. Like, seriously, it lasts a long time. So I'm going to go ahead and poke some of this greenery in here. I am going to take some of the construction grade hot glue and use that to put in here. And then I decide very quickly, I wanted to put some moss down, so I took some of the Gorilla Glue adhesive spray and put some moss in, and then I'm going to go back and add the greenery because I forgot to do that when I started putting the greenery in there. And then once it's all nice and full, this little plant that will never die is all finished. For this very last DIY, I'm going to be making a solar tabletop lamp that I plan on putting on that little side table I made. So for this project, you could essentially get everything from Dollar Tree, which means you'd need a basket, a plunger, and you would need a solar light. I could not find the solar light at Dollar Tree, so I just had one from Target. So the first thing I want to do is take the handle off my basket, and then these little triangular pieces, I thought I could be Wonder Woman and just clip them off. No, it was a little more work. So I just folded them in, and they're not noticeable at all once the lampshade is finished. No big deal. Once that was done, I took the stickers off of my solar light, And then what I needed to do was I needed to, on the top, I was worried about the little solar panel kind of having the top of the basket touch it. So what I ended up doing was kind of putting the leaded there, and as you can see right here, I'm cutting a little hole at the top so that the solar panel won't have anything touching it, and it can get the maximum maximum amount of light hitting it so that it will be nice and bright at night. Because my solar light had a stake, all I needed off of the plunger was the bottom of it. That will be the base of my light. Now, wait for it. I took the bottom base of the plunger and the stake of the solar light. I took it outside and I spray painted it. Yep. Those of you who followed me know what that means. I spray painted it. And then here we are with it nice and white, ready to go. And now I am ready to start adding my stones to my lampshade. These blue stones came from Dollar Tree. And again, I'm just using the construction grade hot glue. And at first I was just putting a very minimal amount, and then I realized it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to blob it on, and that worked really well. So I was very generous with the amount of glue I put on there, and then I just started going around sticking the stones on there until it was covered all along the side as well as on the top.
How many mountains to get some confidence? How many debates?
Now that the lampshade is pretty much finished, the top of it, it's super heavy, so I knew that I needed to counterbalance the weight of that so that my lamp didn't end up being top heavy. And to do that, first I'm taking a couple of the Dollar Tree tower blocks and I'm just gluing those to the sides of the solar light stake that's sticking through the plunger. And then I have a bucket full of the Dollar Tree brown rocks. I am just gluing and filling it in and weighting that down. And once that was done, it balanced out the lamp and it was good to go.
Succeed, my wallet is spreading thin. Oh, ooh, ooh, what to do? I am me and not you. Ooh, ooh, what to say?
And there you have it, some easy DIYs that you can do to spruce up that outdoor living space. All right, let me know down below which one of these DIYs was your favorite. In the last video, my random question was your dream mode of transportation. My answer to that is gonna be a horse. Not sure what that says about me, given that I live in Texas and I say horse, but I'm gonna stick with that. Now, today's random question is this. Let me know down below if you could invite any famous person, dead or alive, to dinner, who would you invite? I'm curious to find out. If you're visiting me from any of the other channels, thank you so much for stopping by. Please say hi down below so that I can say hi back. And for all of my subscribers, please make sure you go check out all the other ladies in this playlist and find out what they made for their outdoor spaces. You can find me on social media, on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and all that jazz. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.
How many right turns to reach some